What's good, YouTube? So this is how I unfortunately lost $750 today. Kind of emotional and pissed off right now, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit. I There's a couple things going on at the same time as this trade, so a little emotional. I'm not gonna let it affect my work today. I'm gonna still work hard. That's probably the biggest thing. But we'll just go over this recap quick. So I guess I'll replay it. Why not? I'll just keep the execution on. Pretty interesting day, I would say. Oh, I deleted my old replay. I just realized. That's whatever. All right, so going into the day, we could have gone either way, really. We had these lows, not marked out, but in this range, there was some Asian lows. Not Asian lows, but it was a low in Asian session, and then Asian lows are actually down here. So basically, we instantly sweep. If I can check on here, very laggy. We instantly sweep. Yeah, so ES did not sweep these highs, but NASDAQ did. So we have an SMT from that. And then all I'm looking for, because we got the 5-minute break, is a 5-minute retrace, which we get after lots of candles. All right, so we finally get a 5-minute retrace. So my basically my full strategy is almost there. We just need a 1-minute break structure, 5-minute break, 5-minute retrace. We're in equilibrium at this point. And at the 1 minute, not sure what all these drawings were. I kind of marked this other execution out just for fun. But we're looking for a 1-minute break of structure or 1-minute inverse. So at that point, we have two fair value gaps right here. So if it breaks through these, enter. Basically, I have everything I need. It goes really far. Okay, so we had, this was take profit 1. I want to say take profit 2. So at that point, it was a very big candle down. We didn't get nothing little. It just blew through these. And for me to go short at this, I would be a negative risk reward at take profit 1. And I would be 1.4 at take profit 2. And that's not even a second 1-minute high. That's the first 1-minute high. So if I was actually taking the strategy correctly, it'd be a 1 at take profit 2. So not very good. So at that, I'm like, I'm not taking that. There's no way. I'm sure it'll retrace on the 1 minute. We got a big candle here, so I'm sure it'll come up and retrace a little bit, and we'll get a fair value gap entry or something like that into the inverse. So we get another down candle. I'm like, okay, even bigger fair value gap. We got to hit that. Another down candle. Another down candle. Another down candle. Take profit 1. Another down candle. I think 1 up candle. And take profit 2 right away. So no entry at all for this basically perfect setup for me. Kind of unfortunate, and I could have definitely entered randomly. Once this waked up a little bit, could have entered, or once it didn't close yet through this, I could have just entered randomly. I stuck to the strategy, so I didn't enter. And if it was a bad risk reward, not going to enter like that. So we ended up not entering this. Pretty unfortunate, and I was hoping at this point for a 5-minute retrace, because we got 3 5-minute candles and we have these Asian lows still. So just waiting for a 5-minute retracement potentially. And I think we slowly get this move up, and so we inverse the gaps, but we're in equilibrium. And the thing is, we have kind of an SMT here. So if you look on ES, where we maybe made it halfway towards these Asian lows from that other high, and on NASDAQ, the high was like here, or the low was here, so we're almost all the way. So we're a lot lower on NASDAQ, so we're looking more bearish on NASDAQ. ES was a little bit more bullish looking, even though the SMT was on ES, because NASDAQ did sweep this. So with that being said, it was kind of iffy at this point because my original target's already swept. We already have sweeps to the downside, which was kind of unfortunate. But I was really seeing this because it's still basically my setup. I would have targeted these eventually if I could have got that entry up here, which I didn't. On NASDAQ, the risk reward was even worse, so that wasn't even an option for that original entry. So at this point, I'm seeing that we're in equilibrium. We're in this fair value gap. Just I think we barely inversed the fair value gap, but we tapped into this other one. Okay. So I really want to short this because we're so close to these lows, and I feel like we're not going to move up being that close to those lows. So I feel like we're going to want to hit those first, then make the move up. And basically, we do get an entry here. So we're using this for value gap as kind of the indicator, and then we're just looking for a 1 minute break of structure. So we get that, pretty sure very slowly. And we finally get the 1 minute break. And I wanted a better entry slightly because we had 5 1 minute candles down. So I wanted this fair value gap to get hit, and then I was going to enter. That's the other thing which is very strange. Not very strange, I would say, but it's very uncommon to see on ES. I guess it was both pairs, but to see that there's like 10 1 minute candles to the downside without any retracement. So that's basically that was that move that I couldn't get an entry on because it just 1 minute down, 1 minute down, 1 minute down, and no retracement. So you don't see that very often. I've seen that. One crazy example of that, of a trade that I was in that actually hit, and it was like 15 1 minute candles up, which you don't see. You see more of this. You see a couple of candles up, retrace, candle, retrace, candle, retrace, and you don't see this. You don't see this whole move down. You got one candle in here, but you don't see all this. So very bearish that it wants to move all of that without retracing at all. So that's also another indicator of why I wanted to short on NASDAQ. The only thing is ES basically was setting up for a bullish entry just because if you look at it the other way, we swept these. So we're closer to these highs or these lows that were the original targets on ES. And we basically got to move up and inverse the gap. And then now we're kind of tapping into an inverse fair value gap at the same time. So basically NASDAQ is looking good bearish setup, and then ES is looking good bullish setup. So that was the only thing. So it was a little iffy with that, but I was definitely looking more bearish because we're so close to these lows and because we got all this move down, just showing that it's bearish. So with that, all of that context, I'm very willing to take this trade. I de-risked a little bit. That's why it's 750 instead of 1,000 loss. So we went 3/4 loss, 3/4 risk. I didn't want to go half risk because I felt more convicted than half risk, even though there was low swept, which was kind of unfortunate. But we're at this point. Okay, so we break structure. We have everything we need. We have, even though it's kind of delayed, we have that sweep to the upside. We have 5 minute retrace now again that we got. And it's already a bearish 5 minute structure. So we're already bearish with that. Just need a 1 minute break. We got that. Okay. So I'm just looking for a better risk reward because I didn't really want to take that, which is a 2. And I knew that we kind of, we're most likely going to get some sort of retrace because we have fair value gap and pretty decent down move. So we get that. We get a 1 minute candle up. I entered before the candle closed. Unfortunately, I should have. I probably could have saved the trade if I would have waited for this candle to close, and I could have entered up here, and I could have put my stop a little bit higher because of that. Instead, because if I would have, that would have been a 5R, so I would have definitely moved my stop higher and would have had more opportunity with that. We just entered market basically once it was tapping into here because I didn't have, or I was too, I guess, I rushed it a little bit. But from there, we're starting to play out well. Okay, we're getting some bearish action. I know it's chopping a little bit, but I'm like, okay, we're gonna finally hit. No, guess what happened? Trump freaking tweeted. Trump tweeted. I can look on the phone right now. I knew this candle wasn't normal because that was one of our biggest candles, and it's not going to say on Forex Factory, but I actually have this app called Financial Juice, which actually shows like tweets. It says the White House, it's basically saying the White House and using nuclear weapons in Iran. And then a couple minutes later, it also talks about Iran cutting off connections with U.S. and um, bunch of the Trump has threats to bomb Iran basically right now. So that happened and stopped me out right away in one candle. The next candle down, and from that point on, guess what happens? Oh my gosh, we hit take profit right there, and then keeps going down, and I don't even know where we're at this point. Um, let's see how. Okay, I guess we moved up, but take profit would have been here. It kind of makes me mad even replaying it because obviously it was thanks to news that we got stopped out and then hits take profit, which is unfortunate. But if I can make it through these couple months of trading with a war going on, then I'm sure the rest of trading down the line in the future after this war is not going to be as difficult to trade through. So if I can make it through this point in my trading career in my life, I'm sure I can make it through the future. So it's just kind of a test at this point. It's pretty unfortunate because 3 losses in a row, I think. It's either 3 or 4. So a decent losing streak kind of at this point. My worst losing streak is a 4, so we're either at that or getting close to that, which is pretty unfortunate. And I really had this trade definitely would have hit if it wasn't for the Trump tweet. So, and you can't really plan on that because by the time it comes out, it's probably already moving. So, pretty sad to see. I would have made. I don't even know if it's a good idea to figure out how much I would have made. But so we would have made over $2,000 today. Unfortunately, probably like 2,200. But unfortunately, we lost 750, went the other direction instead. I kind of can blame the news, I guess you could, but I really need to learn from this. I can't really just blame it and not do anything and it's the market's fault or it's Trump's fault, the news' fault. I can learn from this no matter what. And the biggest thing for me is going through the rest of my day, getting some mad work done. We got a lot on the agenda today. We got gym, we're recording the video already. You got editing some videos, doing some back testing, doing some data research, doing some journaling. A lot of good stuff, productive stuff today to get completed. And I'm not going to let this loss, affect me with that. I mean, it's going to be in the back of my head probably during the gym, and I hate when that happens. But I'm going to do my best to not let it affect me and to not let it affect my performance and do the best that I can today. So that is the plan. Pretty unfortunate loss. Kind of upset me. I had a meeting literally just freaking 10 minutes after this, so that was unfortunate. I was in the wrong headspace for that. But I mean, what can you do? I can't really do anything about it. Trump does what he does and markets move how they move, so I can't really complain. I'm going to make money either way this month. I know I haven't had a single losing month unless something unfortunate happens. But this is the first trade of the month, so luckily last week I didn't take a bunch of losses or anything like that. We protected capital, so 1 loss, and it is Tuesday, so we have like CPI on Friday. Usually I actually do well on CPI days. I don't gamble it or full port it like all these idiots do on TikTok, but we usually make some decent money. So we got some opportunity this week. I'm not afraid about what it looks like in the future. I'm not gonna stop trading because Trump's putting out news and it's moving the market. Can't control the market, so you shouldn't trade. That's not how I'm gonna trade. I'm gonna still lock in. I'm still gonna trade no matter what. I have just now over 200 something trades logged and journaled between live and back testing, and that's roughly a year and a half of data that is logged. So with that, I am very confident in my trading that over a long period of time, I'm going to make a lot of money. Monthly, like even not like a year, but like a month, every month. I have not had a red month. I average 9R per month over that big span. So it's just a lot of confidence that is showed to me that I don't have to worry about this day-to-day crap. I mean, yeah, maybe I am 1R less on the month. I mean, well, it's 0.75R, I guess, technically. I mean, I lost the trade and then de-risked it, luckily, though. So, I mean, no matter what, I'm gonna probably make money this month. That's how the pattern has been. I barely even have losing weeks. I have probably had 5, 6-ish weeks in my whole, what do we probably have 80 weeks of trading, and those are the only losing weeks, and every other one is at least positive. Maybe not a crazy R on the week, but they're positive. So I'm not going to let this one day affect my trading. I'm not going to let it I'm not going to, as if I was in a basketball game, my next game, I'm not going to be worrying about the last game, about one shot in the last game. I'm going to be focused on the next game. So that is what we're going to do. That is the play. That is my mindset going in today. I'm not going to let this thing affect me, and we're going to have a good day. We're going to get 1% better no matter what. So with that being said, that is all for today. Hope you guys do the same thing. Get 1% better today. Don't let me just outwork you like that. So do something to yourself. Have a good one. Peace.